Abduction, Chapter 15, Part 2. You can start by telling us your daughter's name, said Echo with kindness and affection. Victoria, or she likes to be called Vika, replied Irina as she sat. She is my only child, and to have her missing hurts. My husband works as a taxi driver, and he asked all his fares if they have seen her. He does all he can, even when Alex is not working. He is searching the city. I fear he is making himself sick looking for Vika. Where was she going when she went missing? Asked Echo. Irina poured the tea for both Echo and me. I noticed her hand holding the cup and saucer quivered. The shake was minor, but you knew she was hurting emotionally. She was going with her friends to see the lights. You know, the ones the city had been talking about for the last few months, said Irina as she looked over her brim of her teacup. Have you seen them? Yes, Richard and I have seen them, replied Echo. We went out to the field outside the city to watch for them, and we saw them. The talk is they are lights of alien spaceships. I never believed until my Vika went missing, said Irina. So you believe she was abducted by aliens? I asked before sipping the hot tea. Irina nodded and set her cup down. The expression on her face indicated that she indeed did. I have no other reason to believe anything else has happened to her. She was happy at home. Vika loved her friends and was good at school. What else could have happened to her? There were reasons a teen would leave home and not return, but none seemed to apply in Vika Shevchenko's case. It didn't make sense she would leave her mother and father and home that she loved. Her disappearance coincided with the arrival of the strange lights in the city. It would lead one to believe that aliens had abducted her against her will. Do you know who she went with? I asked. Yes, she went with her friends, answered Irina. The three of them always did things together. They seemed to be inseparable. Anyone else join them? Asked Echo. No one that I know, replied Irina. It was always just the girls. Did Vika have a boyfriend? Asked Echo as she reached into her purse to put more chocolates down on the table. No, she had one, but he moved to Kiev with his parents. What about the friends she left to go to the fields with? What happened with them? I asked. They both returned home, but they said they left Vika at the apartments, answered Irina. What do you know about the Gopniks in the area? I asked. Irina muttered something under her breath that I understood to mean fucking idiots. I was reasonably sure that she didn't mean that Echo and I were half-wits. These Adidas-wearing persons have been showing up in our neighborhood, said a disgusted Irina. They make it dangerous to go out on your own. Most days they just sit in their squat and chew sunflower seeds while drinking beer, or they bother you by asking for cigarettes. Sounds like they're more bothersome than threatening, muttered Echo. Vika was never friends with any of them? I asked, reaching for my tea. Irina shook her head. No, Vika would never be around any Gopniks. She detested them. If they were hanging around, she would ask her father to take her somewhere. I sipped my tea, which was delicious. Have you ever experienced an alien visitation? Irina's eyebrows furrowed before she shook her head. No, I don't even know what one would be like. Irina threw her gaze over toward Echo as if looking for help. Echo seemed surprised I asked such a question. I had never had an alien visitation, and I never would want to have one. Such an event would be frightening. It was terrible enough to face down alien creatures in the exclusion zone. I could see them, but to have aliens show up on my home or possibly in my bedroom would be the scariest thing I would ever encounter. I think what Richard is getting at is that you're on one of the top floors. It would be possible for a spacecraft to hover near this building, stated Echo. Irina shook her head before looking at me, shaken by the thought of aliens invading her privacy. I didn't mean to scare you, Irina, I said. I'm looking for answers, and if aliens had to come into your home, they might come for your daughter at a later time. You know this? Asked frightened Irina. I know anything is possible when it comes to your daughter, I said. I don't believe that she ran away from her loving home, but I know she is missing. If it was an alien abduction, I want to know, and find a way to get her back. If it wasn't, then who did take your daughter? You will look for her? Pleaded Irina. I believe in Richard, said Echo. He has done amazing things. If anyone can find your daughter, it will be Richard. I wished Echo hadn't said what she did regarding me. I hadn't been very good at many things lately, and finding a girl in a country I knew nothing about would take a miracle. I was now under pressure to perform. I had to locate the girl whether I had my heart into it or not. There was a picture on the table that stood by the window. The girl looked young and reminded me of a young girl I knew in Gummel. Her family loved her more than she knew. I would assume this was the case with Vika. If Vika was missing of her own accord, she didn't know how much sorrow her actions were causing. I was sure this was not the case. I didn't need my gut instinct to tell me that. Irina brushed away tears that flowed from her eyes. Thank you. I don't know how to thank you when you find her. I smiled. You can make me some potato pancakes. Irina giggled. I will do that for you.